Fox 8 Sports, this is The Final Play with Chad Sabany. Brought to you by your Southern Quality Ford dealers and Oceana Grill.
In the air, deep to right field. Way back there. Tigers win game one.
It might have even been a ball. It was high, but I had a couple bad swings early in the at-bat. Got real big, but then that one simple, and then look what happened. And after 4 years being here, it couldn't have gotten any better than this. But I guess we can celebrate for a little while before we look over to tomorrow.
You know, it's not how you draw them up, but we'll take it. You know, I've been in this game a long time. I've seen just about everything, but that was one for the ages there.
With that walk-off shot from Chris Shambra, Saturday night, LSU baseball entered today just one more win shy of advancing to the College World Series for the 17th time in school history. However, the gritty Raging Cajuns of Louisiana Lafayette would not go down without a fight. They showed their resolve by forcing a late-game tie in the Super Regional opener, and then tonight they looked to even the score. But the celebration continues for the LSU Tigers. Welcome in to The Final Play. LSU has been in this position many times in the past, needing just one win to advance to Omaha. Louisiana Lafayette was actually in this round of the NCAA tournament just last year when the Cajuns fell short against Ole Miss. Tonight, LSU sent crafty lefty Jared Poche to the mound to lead the Tigers against Lafayette's ace, Gunnar Leger. A sophomore versus freshman battle. It was a pitcher's duel for a long time. Leger looked sharp early. He struck out the side there in the second inning. Bottom of the third, Cajuns with the man on second, Joe Robbins, but Jared Poche gets Robbins to ground out. Scoreless game through three. Each team had just one hit at that point. Fourth inning, check out the great defense from the Raging Cajuns. Back-to-back highlight catches from Lafayette center fielder Kyle Clement, keeping his team in the game, saving some extra base hits. Bottom of the fourth, two more Cajuns on base, but once again, Poche gets out of the jam, a 6-4-3 double play ball, keeping this game scoreless. Remained that way here in the sixth. Poche back on the hill, another jam. Tyler Girard, but more good mojo for Poche. Girard lines a sharp one to Jared Foster, tosses to Bregman for the double play. That ends the inning. Poche threw 7 2/3 innings. He struck out 7. LSU was able to take that momentum and turn it into a lead with one big swing from senior Cade Savick. The Maurepas Masher launches the no-doubt home run to deep left. 1-0 Tigers. The fans at Alex Box Stadium were going crazy. But it was still a game. 1-0, 8th inning. Tigers add a pair of huge insurance runs. 2 on, 2 out for Alex Bregman, who comes through finally, snapping his 0-for-15 hitless slump with a big 2-run single up the middle. LSU leads 3-0, but no, the Tigers and Les Miles, they were not done yet. Senior Connor Hale ropes that pitch into the right field corner. 2 more runs will come on in to score for the Tigers as LSU would break this game open with a 5-0 lead. Credit the Raging Cajuns. They fought back, played it 3 runs late, but LSU wins it 6-3. Jared Poche finishing the game with 7 strikeouts and 7 2/3 innings. Garland Gillen has more with Tiger coach Paul Mainieri.
Now joined by Coach Mainieri. Coach, been 2 years. I'm sure it felt like an eternity, but you're back in Omaha. Talk about the feeling.
Well, you know, I think it's 4th time in the last 8 years, so it doesn't really feel like an eternity, quite frankly. It's hard to get to Omaha. There's a lot of good teams. We had to fight our way through a really, really tough team here in this the Raging Cajuns. They played us hard. But I think our team deserved to go to Omaha. The body of work for this entire season, the way they've played every aspect of the game, the way they've played hard every day. We haven't lost 2 games in a row all year. We've won 53 ball games. So, you know, these kids deserved to go to Omaha, and I'm just glad that they earned it in the end. They're going to get to have the experience of getting an opportunity to play for a national championship.
Regional, super regional, you went 5-0, no losses. Talk about how strong this team has been these past 2 weekends with rain delays and tense matchups here and exciting fans in the stands getting fired up for these big ones.
Well, once the SEC tournament is over and you're in the NCAA tournament, basically you know you're 10 wins away from a national championship, 5 from getting to Omaha, 10 for a national championship. So we're halfway there. Just getting to Omaha is a great accomplishment. And, you know, obviously by me telling you how many times you've been there, I'm proud of that, okay? But once you get there, you want to win. And so, we still have a lot of work to do, and we're going to get back to practice this week. We'll leave Thursday for Omaha, and it'll be a business trip. We're going to go there and play at the very highest level we're capable of playing, and hopefully it'll be good enough.
You got a freshman and a sophomore, probably your two big aces when you go to Omaha. It doesn't seem like these guys are youngsters, though. They seem very confident. Talking to Alex Lang a little while ago, he seems like a wily veteran there, like an Alex Bregman there when you talk to him. It seems like these guys are ready for the big game situation.
Well, we have a lot of veterans, and so they know what it takes, and they've been great leaders of our team to show the younger players what it takes. But Alex Lang is an inordinately mature, poised young man for a freshman, and he's pitched tremendous baseball all year, not just because he has talent. There's a lot of pitchers that have good arms and good curveballs. This kid knows how to put it together and handle it all, and he's just a wonderful young man. If you spent 5 minutes with Alex Lang, you'd walk away so impressed just by the demeanor and the way he conducts himself.
Offensive side of the ball, Alex Bregman, no hits in the regional, comes in his final at-bat at LSU. Just talk about how special that moment was to see his final at-bat at Alex Box is a 2 RBI single.
Well, the game was still very much in doubt, so really the biggest thing was that the hit helped us win the ball game. But I had visions of when Mason Katz and Ray Frimes and some of the other guys had their last at-bats as well, and it was really appropriate that Alex got a 2-run single there and got the ovation from the crowd, because he's meant so much to our program. I mean, the 3 years we've had with him has been off the charts as far as just a great joy as a coach to have a young man like that. We're going to miss him terribly.
Coach Mainieri, being in Omaha before, winning in Omaha, talk about how important that is when you go back there and you know what it's like. I know that some of these players, this is their first time, but you've been there so many times before.
Well, I have. This will be my 5th trip. I went with Notre Dame once and 4 times with LSU, and we won it once in 2009. The last time we went there, we were at the new ballpark, and quite frankly, it felt like the first time for me. Now, I went that year. Last year, I went to see my friend Brian O'Connor in the finals, and, I kind of got a lay of the land a little better. So I think I'm going to be a little smarter this time when we go as far as the off-the-field activities and how to handle some of the logistical things. But you're right. You're going to be in front of 25,000 people. The eyes of the world are going to be on you. And so it's going to be a whole different environment. And you're going to be there with 7 other great ball clubs, any one of which is capable of winning the national championship. So the margin for error is just very small, but you still can't press. You got to go out there and play loose and have fun and compete. And I think our guys will be ready to do that. We're looking forward to it.
Thank you so much, Coach Mainieri. All right, Chad, back to you in the studio.
Thank you, Garland. Much more on LSU advancing to Omaha in just a few. But coming up, it's time to talk black and gold. Junior Galette could be out for the season if he opts for surgery. Evan Woodbury of NOLA.com joins me in studio to talk about the ramifications and what can be done to possibly replace this dynamic pass rusher.
You're watching The Final Play.
Well, back here in New Orleans, the Saints just wrapped up their second full week of OTAs, focusing on installation and now simplifying their schemes. Some players returned and some were absent with minor injuries, but there was one Saints defensive standout who made major headlines late in the week with possible season-defining news.
Here's Glenn, and he's going to go down, and there's the safety. An inside charge by Junior Galette gets the Saints 2 points.
Over the past 2 seasons, he's led the Saints with a combined 22 sacks. But there's a chance Junior Galette will not play a single down for New Orleans in 2015. According to Fox Sports, Galette has a torn pectoral muscle and is now exploring all options, including surgery. Galette has reportedly received mixed recommendations from doctors, but if Galette does need surgery, he could miss up to 6 months and potentially the entire 2015 campaign. Without Junior Galette rushing the quarterback, the Saints would certainly need a healthy and productive Cam Jordan. The former Pro Bowl defensive end just signed his 5-year, $60 million contract extension last Tuesday. Jordan has tallied 28 sacks over the past 3 seasons, 7th best in the NFC during that span. What makes Cam Jordan so valuable is his versatility.
He's a versatile player, and what I mean by that is he plays the run well, he plays in the sub well, he gives you some flexibility as to where you want to line them up. And we thought, and I think going back to the owners' meetings, I mentioned it. We thought that was an important sign for us, through this offseason, heading into the fall, and it's good to see that we were able to get that done. And I'm sure that we'll continue to use him. The key is where and how we want to deploy him in the nickel, but he'll be a part of us getting better on defense this year for sure.
All righty, what's up? Go!
And on the offensive side of the ball, rookie quarterback Garrett Grayson was back in action this past week, impressing both the coaching staff and his teammates with his accuracy. However, the first-year pro knows his journey has just begun.
Just spitting out these play calls, getting them right, letting everybody know. Walking in with confidence in the huddle, it's something when you've got a play call, it's 16 words long, and then you got to go in with confidence and tell everybody what to do. Sometimes you can get tripped up in your words, so that's something that's honestly been probably the most difficult part.
Probably the accuracy ahead of the anticipation. The anticipation will come with product knowledge and him understanding what we're doing. But he's someone that I think can move around, locate the ball pretty well. He's picked things up fairly quickly, and to have a chance at quarterback all of a sudden to see him move a group as opposed to being a 3-rep rotation. It's a little different when you get in the huddle and you can just the number one goal for the quarterback is to find a way to get your team in the end zone, and sometimes you just see a guy enter the game and be able to move his offense. So I think that'll be something that we'll look forward to once we get into the preseason and the scrimmage.
Joined now by Evan Woodbury of NOLA.com, the Times-Picayune, to discuss the black and gold. Big news with Junior Galette, Evan. If Galette is, in fact, out for the majority of this season, if not the entire 2015 campaign, how big of a blow is this to the Saints defense?
Well, I think it is a big blow, but the good news, if there is any, is that it probably is not as big of a blow as it would have been last year at this time. The Saints did make some moves through the draft and through free agency to give themselves a little bit more depth there. Anthony Spencer is a veteran from the Dallas Cowboys, spent the last 8 years with the Cowboys. He would probably go immediately in to fill the kind of role that Junior Galette had. And then they have some options at outside linebacker. It's just a matter of how they want to play. Haoli Kika, Davis Tull, and even some guys that we saw last year like Hasim Adebali, who has a year under his belt now. It's not good news by any stretch, because even if Junior Galette is in a limited basis, he's still playing 500, 600 snaps, and that's a big, big loss. But they at least have some more options than they would have had last year at this time.
Would you say the timing of this reported injury is at least a silver lining, that it's in June and not August on the eve of the 2015 season?
Oh, absolutely. And I think you got to bet that they're shopping around right now. There aren't a whole lot of great options left on the free agent market, but any option there is, I'm sure they're looking at very, very closely just to see what's out there, just to get another body in there for camp and provide some more competition, because this is a problem I'm sure they weren't expecting to have.
As productive as Junior was the past 2 seasons, really, team high, 22 combined sacks since 2013. Can they replace that? I know you mentioned some options, but will they be able to sustain this loss and still be successful the way they want to be attacking defensively?
Well, I mean, I think one of the most interesting things is that at the end of last year, you saw Junior Galette's role change pretty dramatically. And then really for the first 10, 12 games of the year, he was every single snap he was on the field. And then towards the end of the year, he was coming in and pass rushing downs, and they were really wanting him to focus solely on attacking the quarterback. So whether that's a good thing or bad thing, I don't know. The sense is that he can be a huge force rushing the passer, but maybe during some of those earlier running downs, he wasn't being as productive. So where they're going to have to find that productivity is getting after the passer in those passing downs, and that's going to be, which the loss I think is going to be felt the most.
And Cam Jordan is going to have to step up big. Big news for Cam Jordan this past week, signing his contract extension, an additional 5 years, $60 million, a big commitment from the Saints. What makes him so valuable? Do you think this is a wise move to lock up the young and talented Cam Jordan?
Well, I think it's almost a typical Saints move in that it's a lot of money on the front end. The Saints always have these huge, almost outrageously large signing bonuses at the beginning of a contract, but there's almost always an exit strategy for the Saints, and there's an exit strategy here, even though it's a 5-year extension. They could really even get out after the 2016 season if they wanted to, if they needed to. So it's not that dangerous a signing for the Saints. It wraps up Cameron Jordan for another year after this one. They don't have to worry about free agency for him. And, you know, we talk about snaps. Cameron Jordan was an every down player. He played almost every snap of the 2014 season. So in that sense, they really needed to wrap him up to make sure that wasn't something they had to worry about going into the next season. And I think, you know, as far as talking about improvement from 2014 to 2015, he's going to be as big as any player as far as this tail of the defense, getting stronger on that defensive line and making more production after the passer.
Evan Woodbury, thank you, sir, for your time.
Thank you.
A pitcher's duel chock full of defense and double plays. We'll have much more from LSU's Super Regional Series clinching win coming right up.
You're watching The Final Play.
The LSU Tigers are headed back to Omaha in the College World Series. What a 1-2 pitching combo LSU has right now in sophomore Jared Poche and true freshman Alex Lang. Lang, the National Freshman Pitcher of the Year, continues to live up to his hype. He struck out 11 last night over 8 innings in the big Game 1 victory. Garland Gillen caught up with Alex Lang following tonight's Game 2 win.
Now joined by Alex Lang, freshman pitcher, your first year at LSU. Did you ever think they'd be going to Omaha on your first shot as a Tiger?
Oh, we definitely knew. This team's been special from day one. August 27th, coming in here in the locker room with these guys. There's something special about this team, and this is just one step. We're happy to make it, but we're not just content with making it. We're going to win the thing.
LSU is known in the regular season for the big bats. In the postseason, it's been all about pitching, it seems, with you and Poche and a few guys coming out of the pen to knock it down for y'all. Talk about the pitching performances we see in the regional and super regional.
Offense has picked us up all year. That's your team's job, is to pick you up. When the offense isn't firing, that's when the defense and pitching steps up, and that's what we did. You know, our offense is going to be lights out for Omaha, and we're excited. They're ready. They're going to hit, and we're going to pitch it just as well. So when we're down, the pitching's going to pick them up, and they know that.
Talk about going to Omaha. What is it going to feel like to get into that stadium for the first time?
Oh, I can't wait. I grew up like 3 hours from it in Kansas City. I've been to a couple games, been able to experience that as a fan. I've seen LSU play there. I'm just ready to go, and I'm so happy for these fans. They deserve it to go back, and we're so excited. We're thrilled.
Last thing, are you going to get any sleep tonight at all after all this excitement?
I don't know. We'll see. We're just going to enjoy this one, and till midnight, that's when Coach Maneri says, and then we start focusing on the next one. But we're just happy to be going.
Thank you so much, Alex.
Thank you, guys. God bless.
All right, Chad, back to you in the studio.
The party does continue in Baton Rouge and all over the state. Now, LSU really does have a title contending team this year because of its balance, not just the dominant starting pitching, but the lineup. Now, the hits may have been scarce this weekend, but those big runs came late last night and then again tonight. Chris Shambra, the big walk-off home run last night. This LSU Tiger lineup is talented and it's deep from 1 through 9, top to bottom. A lot of credit has to go to LSU's first-year hitting coach, Andy Cannizzaro, the former Tulane great, who once again joined our Garland Gillen.
All right, now joined by first-year hitting coach Andy Cannizzaro. Did you expect this much excitement this early in your career at LSU?
Wow, you know, just phenomenal night, and really it has been an outstanding season. And you know, just give all the credit to these kids, man. They work so hard every day and prepare themselves for moments like this. And you know, to show up tonight and play as well as we did, and you know, pitching defensively, and then you know, obviously the last 3 or 4 innings, you know, finally strung it together a little bit. And listen, you know, year one was phenomenal. It was everything I thought it was going to be. And, you know, we've got so much more of the season left ahead of us, and we've got goals that are sitting right out there for us that we had at the beginning. And it's going to be an incredible 2 weeks of baseball. We're ready to get out there and go compete and try to win a national championship.
It's been 14 years since you went to Omaha as a player for Tulane. Talk about the excitement of going back to Nebraska. It's been a long, long time.
Oh, man, you know, it's going to be great. Going there as a player in 2001 was a phenomenal experience, one of the best experiences of my life as a player. And now to go back 15 years later as a coach, and you know, just to have the opportunity to continue to work with all these kids, continue to work with the hitters, and do the things that we've been doing offensively all year. It's so much fun to come to work every day, and these kids give you everything they got. Seriously, cannot speak highly enough about these group of guys. They're winners. They really are. They're great baseball players. They're fantastic kids. They're going to be successful in baseball or anything they decide to go into because their heart's there and they want to be great.
Last question. It seems whenever a key hit needs to be made, this team has made it this season, especially this week. And talk about the performance of your guys hitting that ball.
Just, you know, clutch players and have that attitude that they're not going to get beat. They're not going to allow somebody to come into this park or wherever we play and beat them. We have gigantic goals that we talk about all the time, and it's just, you know, the next game is the biggest game. And so no matter who walks through those gates, we're ready to play every single day against whoever shows up. And like you said, I mean, clutch hits all season long, gigantic hits tonight, Alex Bregman, Connor Hale, Cade Savick. I mean, it could just kind of keep going down the list, but those guys were phenomenal tonight, veteran players that have had great careers and are going to continue to have big success.
Thank you so much, Coach Cannizaro.
Thanks a lot.
All right, back to you in the studio.
Thank you, Garland. We will wrap up the final play when we come back. History was made yesterday as American Pharoah won the Belmont Stakes with the second largest margin of victory in Triple Crown history. Hear how the moment is sinking in for trainer Bob Baffert and jockey Victor Espinoza a day later.
You're watching The Final Play.
It was a very special weekend for horse racing, a great Saturday for sports. American Pharoahs trainer Bob Baffert and jockey Victor Espinoza were still busy today showing off their champion horse, but that just meant more time to reflect on yesterday's glory.
I feel very relieved and relaxed that the tension is, my body is just completely like let down now that I know that we did it, and I couldn't have done it without a superior, talented racehorse.
How excited. I was still like, you know, I never sleep not even 1 minute yet.
The souvenir is get one of those Triple Crown trophies so I can, I think I'm just going to fill it up full of M&M peanuts.
What a great sports weekend, but don't forget, Fox is your home for the Women's World Cup. The week starts tomorrow with Sweden and Nigeria at 2 p.m., a morning start for France and England on Tuesday, followed by Colombia, Mexico, and then Friday evening you can catch Team USA right here on Fox 8. Team USA taking on Sweden. And that will do it for this week's Final Play. Special thanks to Evan Woodbury for joining us in studio. Our next newscast begins at 4:30 a.m. Everyone have a great night.
The Final Play was brought to you by Southern Quality Ford Dealers and Oceana Grill. Fox 8 is proudly locally owned.